I had a singing lesson with a singing teacher today, and then I went to the public library and took a music composition class, and that was all really nice. I mean, it's been a process to become a better singer and become a better composer. I've been writing like prose for a very, very long time. I was never much good at poetry, and I didn't have much of an interest in it. And music writing is probably more like poetry, but I'm doing what I can in any sense to make some beautiful art. I was speaking with my aunt today about how impactful music is, and my dad used to love hearing my aunt sing. My father's mother was a singer, and I have loved music for a very, very long time. I probably spend more time listening to music than I've spent thinking about tennis or doing anything else, really. I've loved the Beatles, I love Led Zeppelin, I love U2, I love Nirvana, Tupac, a couple Green Day songs. I like Taylor Swift a little bit. I love NSYNC and Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys. So all sorts of music that's been put in my head since I was born. I've enjoyed a lot of it, and I'm very happy to work to produce some of that myself. Writing it, singing it. I've got a fantastic band. We started 6 months ago. After my dad died, I saw a Bon Jovi concert, and I called two of my friends from high school who we've remained friends since. We graduated 8 years ago. I said, we should start a band. They said, okay. We started jamming in my front yard, and maybe 30 or 40 jamming sessions later, we're 6 months in, and we're creating some good stuff. We have about 10 originals now. 6 were composed by the guitarist, 3 by the bassist, 1 by me, and we're moving along with things. The musical quality is getting better. It's hard to fit this in my schedule, given that I also want to be a pro tennis player, and I'm working really hard towards that. And your identity shifts and changes based on everything that you do. I mean, you might have a certain identity when you're young as a student of school or whatever, and then as a son or daughter, and then you grow older, and then your role changes. And role changes are the difficult part of life, because when you're in one role, it's pretty easy. You know what to do. There's a logic and a sequence. You can go on the internet and find how to be a better insert X, Y, or Z, and you can find that very easily. But it's when you decide that you want more and you take the steps in those directions into the unknown that you get into really topsy-turvy and existentially threatening territories. That's also where the great adventures lie, where you stop your life from becoming stale, and when you expand into everything that you want to be. And so this step into music happened after this over a year-long episode with my dad and his ailing health ended. He died, and a month later, or 4 weeks later to the day, I realized I needed to start a band. It took a little bit of time. This was 2 days after I wrote this JFK peace speech, so these things are happening. It's as if I'm just participating in all the events that are happening, and for you and for me and for the rest of us, our time will pass at some point, and then it's going to be on to the world, and society is going to be on the shoulders of the other people, the people who come after us. And so one of the things that's important to do within the time that we have is to do what we think is the best thing we can do for the world, and that most pertinently comes from the thing that we love the most. I've always loved music, I've always loved tennis. Those are the things that make me happy on the inside, and that's why I do them. Dr. Garagazlu came on my show 7 or 8 months ago and said that he didn't become a doctor because he wanted to help humanity. He became a doctor because he loved what he was doing, and that love translates into what he does. And fast forward many years, and he's probably performed thousands of surgeries and saved a lot of lives and really done a great service to humanity inadvertently. So, I mean, the direct thing he does obviously is helpful, but he's able to love what he does, and that's where the service comes and becomes good. And if you look at people around, in many cases, it's not that they need more money or better of anything. It's that they need a stronger connection with what they do to help themselves not fall into negative patterns, which are so easy, because living a human life is not an easy thing, and it's very easy to fall off the right path and stray into all sorts of negative behaviors, whether they're addictions or excessive anger or excessive worry or whatever it may be, and that can sap the real fruit and joy and beauty of life. So as relates to what we can do for the people who come after us, it's at this moment to do what we love. That's the one of the many profound reasons why people have been saying for so long, do what you love, do what you love, do what you love. Whether that means that you make money off it or not is not the point in this context. The point is that you're doing something that's fulfilling on the inside, and that will fulfill you and save you from so many negative problems and uneasiness and the resulting unhappiness for yourself and others that occur when you know there's something off with your life, when you robbed yourself of the thing that matters most to you. So those are some thoughts about why I love music, and I'm happy to spend my time and energy on it, and honestly everything else that I do too. So I hope you found this helpful, and just remember, keep doing what you love and allow everything else to work out on its own.